Hey guys, in this video we're going to be breaking down Conor Benn's absolutely annihilation of Chris Algieri and what it took him to get here to set this shot up. Because you don't land shots like this, especially when you don't really hit hard on average. You just never land shots like this unless you know where your opponent's head's going to be. So let's take a look at him penduluming forward. Okay, now he's closing the distance between him and Algieri. He's going to bring that back foot forward as he shuffles forward, and that's a pendulum step. And he's doing a kind of really relaxed and kind of chill pendulum step, looking to get into position to start setting up this 1-2. Now, right off the bat, as soon as he gets his opponent to the ropes, he looks to start throwing that shot. But Chris Algieri sees that he's using this technique, right? He's going to be using that step there to move into a very similar motion to the falling star, the falling step from Jack Dempsey. I'm not sure which name you heard it from, but he uses the pendulum step to get his weight into it, and then he takes a bigger step with the lead leg to walk into a punch. And you can see him feinting Chris Algieri here and looking to get into a similar rhythm to threaten Algieri's position and threaten getting on the line with him. And we can see that Algieri starts picking up on this rhythm and this timing and starts to control the space between him and Conor Benn with the lead hand, getting it in front of him to stop him from being able to pendulum on him and let shots like this go. Again, looking to do that move over and over and over again. Okay, boom. And then again, off of this pendulum, he's going to take a wider step right here and not bring his weight down and sink it into this shot. Now, real quick, lots of people say you want to stomp that lead foot when you throw that left hand out there. And it's because they've never used a technique like this. They don't understand what it is that you're trying to do. You're not trying to stomp your foot into the ground. Anyone who tells you that doesn't know what they're talking about. Moving on. So, next clip. Whoops, same clip. So again, getting him on the ropes, right? And then looking to use that same technique. And as soon, again, using the pendulum step to slide into this shot here and jump into that shot. But Chris Algieri started picking up on it and started seeing so he can control the space and feint him and then finding his own source of offense off the back of his falling star step, right? And off of his own offense. Now, right off the bat at the second round, we can see Conor Benn using a very similar strategy, right? Boop, feinting and getting to that same position right before where he would step and then controlling Algieri, seeing if he can get him to do something and then using the same little move, right? The same little move, boop, and he's going to pendulum here and then baits that jab and goes under it and then goes to the body instead. Again, already figuring out at the beginning of the second round how to bait and draw Algieri out on that rhythm and on that timing. Now, what I want to call that, you guys, is very important. That's called craft, okay? Now, this clip's a little out of order. This is actually the beginning of the second round, the beginning, where he starts using that same technique and trying to draw him out. And that's going to bring us to the final clip here, where he uses the same technique finally in the fourth round, bringing his weight forward, penduluming on him, and baiting him. Notice he takes this little dip here and puts himself lower on the line, waiting for Algieri to try to control the space with the jab to prevent him from stopping in. Right? So he's breaking his own rhythm, giving him a little bit different look, and adding some craft to his predictable on-the-line attack, right? So he takes what was a disadvantage at the beginning and turns it into an advantage by finding a way to use very similar motions, right? Again, Algieri trying to find a different timing there, pushing him off his line, and now we can see Benn is going to pendulum on him here, a little bit here, bring his weight forward, and then that draws out the attack from Chris Algieri as he ducks it, and then he's able to shoot that 1-2 on the line because he knew he was going to be shooting that jab, right? To control the space, he's able to finally find his head with a really, really solid shot and absolutely annihilated him. Now, again, what I was saying about craft, taking something that you do, predictably, or taking something that you do a lot of, and when you find weaknesses in it, making it better by finding counters to those weaknesses, all right? It's the epitome of boxing craft, of understanding what it is that you do well and what it is that you don't do well, and creating a series of combat sequences that enhance that style of fighting, okay? Think of the most successful craft fighter today, the most successful hands down, no, it's not really the most down, but a great example, Errol Spence. I talk a lot of shit about Errol Spence, okay? He's very basic, he's very this, he's very that. But he has craft built on top of his very basic technique. He has craft and a fighting style, a solid plan for what happens if my opponent does this? What happens if my opponent does that? I'll do this, I'll do this, I'll do this. And it helps being bigger and stronger than all your opponents when you get to be a weight bully, right? It helps. But it's also very important to recognize the parts of it that are working, that are valuable. And that's him having a strategy, right? A boxing IQ, right? And I don't want to say it's a boxing IQ because, in my opinion, it's all craft. It's built from trial and error. You go into a fight, you win the fight, you found you were losing some positions. You go back to the gym, you go to the drawing board, and you say, what do I want to do? How do I want to build off of this? How do I want to fix this problem? Because when I'm in the ring with someone who's better than this guy, and God damn it, I hope I get in the ring better with better dudes than this guy, they're going to be able to do the same thing. So how do I beat the better guys? And he's asked himself this so many times. I know, because there are so many holes in his game, it's unbelievable. But he has to be doing something right. And if you see in his mitt work, if you see in his heavy bag work, you see in his fights, it's all the same. That's how much he believes in his craft. Okay? So just a great idea, a little bit of thing, and a little bit of way to kind of connect the idea here. Now, this is something similar that people have been seeing that Canelo Alvarez has been trying to do, right? Craft coming forward, using the pendulum walk to come forward and close the distance. And what you saw with Teofimo Lopez and what's going to be more common with the lighter guys, right? The falling step, right? Jumping into your punches much, much, much more often with the lighter guys than the heavier guys, simply because it takes a lot of energy to do that. Not that it's any less effective at that weight. It just takes a lot more energy. Okay, it's very dangerous also to step with your punches, as we found out with Teofimo Lopez, right? But Algieri here not really able to make Conor Benn pay for that in a similar way, right? Anyway, if you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to check out my Patreon. Tons and tons of film studies, full fight film studies, much, much, much better stuff than this. But the videos are not as good, but the content is way better. If you're looking to learn how to fight, check out the links in the description. Promo code 30 for 30% off of anything in my shop right now while the holidays last. If you want to learn how to use the double in bag, you want to learn shadow boxing, you want to learn real pendulum boxing, similar to some of the stuff that Conor Benn is doing here, but much, much, much more focused on power and teaching power. As most people 15 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, thought that power was impossible to teach. But with my boxing programs, I can teach you how to throw every single punch with power, teach you all the mechanics of them. Anyway, if you guys have any questions, leave your comments and your questions in the comments, and I'll get to them the best I can. But also, if you're looking to learn my personal Fouts boxing combat theory to teach you how to fight like I think you should fight, okay? You want to learn all my tips, all of my things, all of my cockiest moves, right? I say this is the best move, and this is the best way to train this, and this is the best way to do that. If you want to learn the best ways to do all of this stuff, check out the Fouts Boxing Combat System in the description. Yeah, if you'd like personal coaching, yada, 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 all that stuff, check out my Patreon. It's $50 to sign up, $50 a month. And if you sign up, I'll give you a promo code to the Fouts Boxing Combat System to get you half off, and you can get started learning, and I can teach you how to do that, how to build athleticism, how to turn yourself into a real boxing athlete.